We declare a complete and total ban on Israeli maritime navigation in the Red Sea, and we consider all enemy movements to be legitimate military targets.
After Iran's own strikes, a Mujtaba-aligned group unleashes a fresh missile barrage on Israel, highlighting Tehran's allies are lining up to open new fronts against Netanyahu. An Iran-backed ally vows to block Israeli ships in the Bab al-Mandab Strait, threatening to turn one of the world's most critical choke points into yet another pressure lever on Israel's trade and security. After the Strait of Hormuz, Netanyahu's ships face a renewed wave of terror in the Red Sea, as missiles and maritime threats close in from multiple directions at once. Yemen's Houthi group said on June 8 that it launched a new missile attack on central Israel, claiming the strike was aimed at what it called sensitive targets. The rebels asserted that targets belonging to the Israeli enemy in the Jaffa area had been hit, though independent confirmation of damage was not immediately available. The Iranian-backed group also vowed to block any Israeli ship from sailing in the Red Sea, expanding its threats from missile attacks to maritime disruption. "We will prevent Zionist ships from passing through the Bab al-Mandab Strait," the group announced, signaling a direct challenge to Israeli-linked shipping routes.
In line with confronting the American and Zionist aggression against the axis of jihad and resistance in Iran, Palestine, Lebanon, Iraq, and Yemen, and in rejection of the Zionist project seeking to establish what is so-called Greater Israel under the name of the New Middle East, and in our endeavor to break the unjust and oppressive siege imposed by the American enemy on our people and the free and day peoples of the Axis in Lebanon, Gaza, and Iran, and based on the principle of unified fronts and confronting enemies, and in response to the Zionist aggression against Lebanon, Iran, and Gaza, the Yemeni armed forces launched a missile barrage targeting sensitive Israeli enemy targets in the occupied Jaffa region.
Houthi officials said their attacks were carried out in response to recent Israeli strikes on Iran and Lebanon, framing their actions as part of a broader axis of resistance retaliation. The latest Houthi moves come after Israel and Iran traded fire in the early hours of June 8, with both sides conducting cross-border strikes and counterstrikes. Explosions were reported in central Israel as air defenses intercepted incoming Iranian fire, indicating that at least some of the projectiles were detected and engaged. Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps stated it had targeted 2 Israeli bases in its salvo, saying the strikes were retaliation after the IDF hit radars at 3 Iranian sites. Trump's push for restraint appeared short-lived as Israel launched fresh strikes inside Iranian territory. The Israeli Air Force targeted military-linked sites across central and western Iran in a new wave of attacks. Iranian state media reported explosions in Tehran, Tabriz, and Isfahan as air defenses were activated. Additional blasts were reported near Karaj, expanding the geographical scope of the strikes. The IRGC claimed Israel used air-launched ballistic missiles in attacks carried out on Iranian soil. The Israeli operation came shortly after Iran launched missiles toward northern Israel. Tehran said its missile barrage was retaliation for recent Israeli strikes on Beirut. As Iran and Israel exchange fresh blows, fears grow that the region is edging toward another major war.
A short while ago, the Iranian terror regime launched missiles towards the territory of the State of Israel. We have prepared for this. The IDF is strongly prepared on the defense and on the offense. The Iranian terror regime had made a grave mistake when, yet again, it chose terror. The regime is trying to create a new equation when it carries out direct fire into our territory in response to IDF attacks in the Dahia. We will not allow it. We attacked in the Dahia following the non-stop Hezbollah fire towards northern Israeli communities. The IDF will continue to operate across all of Lebanon and will deepen the hit to the Hezbollah terror organization. We will not allow fire toward the citizens of the State of Israel to continue. We are prepared for the possibility of further firing towards us. Our defense systems are excellent, but the protection is not hermetic. Continue to behave responsibly and calmly as you did so far. We are experienced.
On camera, Iran launched missiles toward Israel for the first time since the April truce, reigniting fears of a wider conflict. Air raid sirens echoed across northern Israel, sending millions scrambling for shelters as the attack unfolded. The IDF claimed most incoming missiles were intercepted or failed to reach their intended targets. Dramatic footage circulating online appeared to show at least one Iranian missile penetrating Israeli defenses and striking its target. Even as regional powers pushed for restraint, Tehran defended the strike as a response to Israeli actions in Lebanon.
In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful, the aggressive Zionist regime, by repeatedly violating the ceasefire and with the green light in support of the criminal United States and the silence of international bodies, has increased its wickedness against the oppressed people of Lebanon day by day, committing war crimes by using prohibited weapons, including phosphorus bombs. Despite previous warnings from the Islamic Republic of Iran, the child-killing Zionist regime, having crossed all red lines and increased its attacks in southern Lebanon, has targeted Beirut's Dahir. We had warned that if the crimes in Beirut's Dahir expand, we would attack targets within the occupied territories. The Zionist army must stop its attacks on southern Lebanon and Dahir. Should it expand its attacks on that region or respond to Iran's action, it will face even more crushing and regrettable blows, and devastating attacks will be launched against the regime and its supporters. Victory is only from God, the Almighty, the Wise.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.